Hello, Godzilla fans! Ever since I have made my review with Godzilla X Kong The New Empire, you guys have been wanting me to take over on my review on the Monsterverse movies. And that is what we're going to be doing here today. We're going with our first ever Monsterverse film that started it all, Godzilla from 2014. And if you haven't noticed, I have gotten this new mic for good quality audio, so I hope you enjoyed, and let's begin. Also, disclaimer, this is all based on my opinions on the movies. I would like to hear you guys' opinions in the comments, so without further ado, and we got that out of the way, let's begin. Godzilla 2014 is an American-based Godzilla that literally was made by Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers. This is the second American Godzilla that we ever seen in media. Unlike the poorly designed Zilla from Godzilla 1998, this one was way more interesting because this became one of the most iconic Godzilla movies and the most iconic Godzilla designs in cinema and in the entirety of the internet. And this movie made me love Godzilla movies from the start and literally got me into this whole franchise. Since I have seen this movie in theaters when I was younger, and let me tell you, bro, the experience I had when I first saw this, and especially that airport scene, had me shaking and shivering from excitement and fear from this. It was too much. Bro looked absolutely he literally looked like a beast, and gave us the most iconic Godzilla sounds of all time of cinema. Now that was awesome to hear now. Bro, this is by far one of my favorite Godzilla designs of all time. He literally has jagged dorsal plates just like Godzilla 2000s and -1. Bro, I love jagged dorsal plates. I love these jagged dorsal plates on Godzilla because it makes him look more more of a dangerous titan to be messing with. Bro, I love it. I don't know why they had to take it out. It suited him, and if he never fought with the MUTO Prime, it would have been better for a design, or make him more taller and spikier. That would have been perfect for his dorsal plates. And I do want to say, the MUTOs in this movie, the big bad guys in this movie, their design is awesome. I love the design on these creatures, bro, because they now look more terrifying and unique, and they represent actual massive unidentified terrestrial organisms. What else could you name this thing that doesn't even fit any other names? I can't even give it a name, bro. It's literally perfect by calling it a massive unidentified terrestrial organism. And I do want to say the characters in this movie were actually kind of interesting. I did like the approach of Joseph, which is Bryan Cranston, and the same guy who literally was playing as Walter White. That is just crazy. And I just noticed that whenever I first watched it again. But his character is really touching to me because, bro, he literally lost his love of his life onto a nuclear power plant meltdown from the MUTOs attacking it, and he went on and became this crazy father, and then Ford witnessed it all, and then I can see why he's now in grief. Basically, he literally looks in grief and shambles. And then he gives his pointers to saying oh, that the government's hiding this or something they're hiding from the public, and that being the MUTOs and all that. And then they get taken for investigation by Monarch. And with the lead of the team is Dr. Zerazawa. Dude, he dropped one of the most greatest lines in this movie that is still stuck to me to this day, and it's still related for the whole Monsterverse.
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
Now, if that wasn't the most greatest lines of all time, I don't know what is. But I do want to explain the story of this movie, in which there's a lot of pros in it, and then there's a little bit of cons into this movie, but it is still a perfect movie for me. So to start off, I didn't like Ford's character in development in this movie. It kind of felt bland and not that much focus, interesting. And I do like the whole plot with his family are splitting up because of the mom being with the hospital, and then the kid going to school and all this, and then what is it? Horde. I forgot his name. Literally going into the military. But you gotta give them like those three perspectives. Like they're awesome because, especially that Golden Gate Bridge scene. That scene alone literally was so cool to see. Like just seeing this giant big lizard boy just like trying to like get through like the bridge and all this, and just straight up goes, nah, you know what? I'm breaking this bridge. And then like we got a new like point of view on Monarch Legacy of Monsters where Godzilla managed to kill like kids on a school bus like falling into the ocean, which gave him the title of being an anti-hero. Not to mention that like in this movie they included the original plot of like what, the military trying to kill Godzilla just like the one in 1954, but instead this is like a little bit more different of change, and I like it. And that like that atomic breath scene, bro, that was the most best scene out of all of this movie. Like just seeing the atomic breath charging up and like in the darkness, that was sick as hell. And literally made me love the movie way more. Just look at this scene. Now that is the coolest atomic breath scene I ever seen in my life. Like, bro, it literally, like, I already knew whenever I first watched it again, like, before making this review, dude, it literally reminds me of 1954's atomic breath. Like, it was more like of a fire effect instead of like a beam. Like, I really like how this movie took the approach of like 1954's like original and then like just switch it up a little, and it still works. Like the MUTOs like being the main villains and everything and like being shown more than Godzilla, I'm fine with that, man. I mean, look, in the original, Godzilla literally wasn't shown that much. It was more about human characters. I mean, I see what Garreth Edward was going for with like this movie, and it literally turned out perfect, man. I mean, yeah, the pacing is horrible with like the human characters, but you gotta remember, like, that's all for Godzilla movies. Like, if you haven't even watched a single Godzilla movie, there's more human character like screen time to at least give you like excitement to see what's gonna happen next. And like, there's gonna be more insane battles that you're gonna be seeing, and it's gonna be worth it. It's literally worth it. Not to mention that the MUTOs literally made Godzilla bleed in this battle. Like, he was getting beaten down so badly by the MUTOs. Like, they're literally this like strong, man. Like, especially the female MUTO. Like, she was like the most like terrifying opponent for Godzilla. Like, she managed to knock him into a building down. Like, isn't that crazy? And then now he's dealing with a flyer too, that being the male MUTO. And then she just comes in, just jabs in and just like does a lot of damage. Like, poor Godzilla is just getting suffered a lot in this movie. He was literally suffering a lot during these MUTOs. And hey, it's worth it though, because Ford literally blew up the nest, and then like they gave it a chance for Godzilla to stand up. But hey, as long as now Ford literally blew up that nest, which thank God, it would have been a catastrophic event if he didn't. And that's a good pointer for Ford though. I would say that it would have been better if they executed it way better for a character like in the military. But he's just there just to be witnessing the fights that's been happening against like Godzilla and the MUTOs. That's literally what all these characters do, but it's perfect though. It's perfectly fine because that's what makes a Godzilla movie great. I mean, it could be fun and all. I love Godzilla being more entertaining and all, but if you think about it, it's way more interesting with whenever like it's like showing its scale, like how big it is in like in a person's view. Like that, it gives you a new perspective of how this these kaijus look, and it is so cool. It just gives off like what, like Pacific Rim vibes in some sort of way. I mean, I do like its atmosphere being dark and all that, because like it's literally just Godzilla just trying to defeat these like terrifying looking giant bugs that look sick also, and then he just takes care of them and literally drops the best scene in this movie from what I know. Besides the Golden Gate Bridge and the whole fight scenes, most of the action scenes in this movie are great. They're perfect. Especially going through like Godzilla's species that died, like Dagon in the Philippines cave. And it built that suspense like this could be Godzilla's if like he never won. Since like Dagon died from like the MUTO Prime from Godzilla Dominion. And then the MUTO Prime to putting two like parasitic eggs that literally killed and sucked the life of like poor Dagon, dude. But nothing is compared to the best scene of all cinema in this movie that I like to this day. by far the most brutal death in like cinema, bro. And like Godzilla just straight up beamed down through female MUTO's like throat and literally just exploded her head off like from the neck. And you could see the spine on that, like just man, that was so brutal. And that whole skydiving scene with like the humans like diving down to get like retrieve the bomb, that was awesome as well. Just like giving a whole new perspective on like how the fight is going on in our eyes, bro. Like that is just great. And then like the ending was perfect one and all, because he just like was laying down in the rubble and then just roared and then went back into the ocean. Like that is nice. With like him like roaring into like the Chinese lanterns, like bro was making sure that his roar was that powerful than the others. He was out there showing. One of the most iconic roars and by far the best Godzilla roars ever made in cinema, besides Godzilla -1, bro. That's still peak, bro. And bro, the MUTOs and Godzilla fighting together, holy, those fights were awesome. I enjoyed every single combat, like stuff, like all this action happening in this movie. It was perfect. Like just Godzilla like beating the crap out of these MUTOs is just crazy. And the fact that he had to deal like with two of them in this movie, that one that flies and the other one is just strong as hell, it's just crazy. Like, I don't get why people hated this movie. Like, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, it could be from, like, the dark lighting and all that, but could you be really complaining about that, though? I mean, the movie itself literally features Godzilla doing a tail whip move on the male MUTO by literally slamming him into a building and literally stabbing him through it. Like, if that isn't cool, I don't know what is, bro. Because Godzilla is just being a, like, monster of killer, bro. Like he's just killing these monsters back and forth, and it's the best way to introduce yourself into the Monsterverse, because now after this it was literally just like a copy of the Showa era but a more modernized American version, literally, because now it became dark in this it started out dark in the Showa era and then it became more fun and entertaining, and this is what's happening with the Monsterverse nowadays, and I like that though. So yeah, do you think? So I think this movie is by far a 10 out of 10 experience. I would watch it again. It's just phenomenal with like how many like character development there is, especially with Bryan Cranston. Like he went through the stages of grief. Like he literally had a great development, bro. I can see why he literally went crazy and all this about Godzilla or not. I mean, he didn't even want to kill the Godzilla. He just wanted to know what caused it, and then got his answer by dying to like what his wife died to, the MUTO, bro. Like that is just sad, but also just like something for him to like son to witness. Like that's just sad. And I just feel bad for Ford that he literally just lost two of his parents now, and now he's just by himself with his wife and kids. And I do hate that one scene with the people running into the shelter bunker thingy, and then all of a sudden like we just see the MUTO and the Godzilla going at it for the first time. And then it just cuts out into black and with the doors closing, and I'm like, come on, show us the fight. But the rest of the movie, it's fine. But I really, that was just straight up rage bait right there. But all of this, the rest of the movie itself was fine. I loved it. It was literally a great movie. I would watch it again. And it's like a 10 out of 10 experience whenever I first time watched it. Especially that atomic breath scene, bro. That brought me, like, that made me think about this movie being the greatest I've ever seen in my life. I just wish Bryan Cranston got more, like, character, like, shown in more in this movie. It would have been perfect, because he literally could have just been, like, witnessing the fights with his son or something. That would have been fine or not. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what you think about this movie. I think it was a 10 out of 10, like 5 star out of 5 star movie. It's literally in my top 3 Godzilla movies list. But I also want you guys to tell me in the comments what you think of this movie. I would like to hear your guys' opinions on the comments and like interact with y'all and my points, and like you guys can give me your points. But overall, this movie itself literally has some good character development and like human characters, but they're not that interesting, but they're still good in their own way in writing. I find it well. And also Godzilla screen time, it's not much, but hey, as long as you sit through the characters, like the understanding of the story, then you guys, it's gonna be worth it as soon as you see the big G just taking down these new threats. And pretty much that's all I gotta say for this movie. I mean, if you guys want me to say more, you can just tell me in the comments some points I can give y'all. And yeah, until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review. Next will be Kong Skull Island and then King of the Monsters. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.